Inside this small plastic shaker is a substance that has started more wars than religion. A substance your own body will start to shut down without in just 72 hours. It built the Great Wall of China, paid the workers who built the pyramids, and literally gave us the word salary. Today, it cost 50 cents. But for most of human history, this was white gold. And the fight to control it changed your brain forever. Welcome back. Today, we're not talking about politics or aliens. We're talking about the one rock you ate this morning without even realizing it. And why your ancient ancestors would have killed for a single taste. Rewind 2 million years. Our hominid ancestors are walking across Africa. It's hot, they're sweating. And sweating means losing salt. Here's the curiosity. A human body cannot make its own salt. We must eat it. Without sodium, your neurons stop firing. You get brain fog, then seizures, then death. Every animal on Earth has the same problem. That's why you see deer licking rocks on trail cameras. But for early humans, we had a unique solution. We learned to track salt. We followed the game trails that led to natural salt licks. In other words, salt taught us to walk in straight lines. It taught us geography. And then we discovered something magical. If you rub salt into meat, it doesn't rot. That single discovery changed everything. Before refrigerators, salt was the only way to preserve food through winter. If you had salt, you didn't starve. If you had extra salt, you could trade it for fur, wood, or anything. The Romans understood this better than anyone. They didn't just use salt for their famous salad, which literally means salted things. They paid their soldiers in salt. The Latin word salarium became salary. And a soldier who didn't perform, he was not worth his salt. Rome built its first major highway, the Via Salaria, the Salt Road, specifically to move salt from the coast to the capital. Wars were fought over those white pans. Venice, a city on water, became a superpower not because of glass, but because it controlled the salt trade in the Mediterranean. Control salt. Control the world. But here is where the story turns dark. Because salt is essential for life, it became the perfect tool for tyranny. In ancient China, the salt tax funded 80% of the emperor's army. In India, the British East India Company banned locals from making their own salt, forcing them to buy expensive British salt. You've seen the photo of Gandhi. You know he marched to the sea? But do you know why the sea? In 1930, Gandhi walked 240 miles to pick up a lump of natural salt. It wasn't about cooking. It was a direct attack on the British monopoly. By simply making salt, he broke the law. That single act inspired 60,000 people to go to jail and pushed India toward independence. And in France, the gabelle, the hated salt tax, was so unfair that it became a rallying cry of the French Revolution. For centuries, the poor paid a fortune for the one mineral they couldn't live without. No wonder the revolutionaries put salt on the list of oppressive symbols they wanted to destroy. Then, the 20th century changed everything. The invention of refrigeration and canning meant we no longer needed salt to survive. But here's the irony. We didn't stop eating it. We started eating more. Because processed food is cheap, addictive, and loaded with sodium. Now, 3.5 million people a year die from salt-related heart disease. The same mineral that kept our ancestors alive is now killing us. We went from a world where salt was too rare to a world where it's too common. Today, most salt isn't even for eating. 90% goes to industrial uses, making plastic, paper, bleach, and de-icing roads. We literally throw it on the ground to melt snow. Imagine telling a Roman soldier that, yes, we just spread that white gold on the street. So here's the curiosity. Salt has been a drug, a salary, a weapon, a savior, and a killer. It moved mountains, built empires, and fell empires. And it's still on your table right now, completely ignored. The next time you shake that plastic bottle, remember, you are holding the ghost of every soldier, every slave, every king, every revolution. You are holding the single most influential rock in history. And you're about to put it on your French fries. If you want more strange stories about the everyday objects around you, hit subscribe. Because the world is much weirder than textbooks tell us. I'll see you in the next curiosity. What everyday object should I uncover next? Comment below.